The Clarence Valley is located on the New South Wales north coast and spans over 10,000 square kilometres. This area is home to the historical Koolkhan power station that was once responsible for generating power to the region.
The station was commissioned in 1952 after a period of a couple of years of construction. It serviced the area around Grafton and the Clarence Valley, approximately 3,000 homes. Initially that grew over the years, and so did capacity of the station as it was gradually added to until 1979 when it was finally decommissioned. The building's being demolished as we stand here because it's not safe to leave in its current condition and it's environmentally unsound.
Synergy Resource Management is the company tasked with bringing down this historical power station safely, on time and within budget. To put the size of the structure into perspective, picture a building over 7 stories high with a footprint larger than a football field. Demolishing a building of this size will be a monumental task. It will require careful consideration through every stage of the project. However, the size of the building isn't the only problem they must solve.
The demolition works is in close proximity to a wide variety of low voltage and high voltage power supply. The site is located on the major distribution hub for the whole of the northern region of New South Wales. And it's very important that we undertake works in such a manner not to intrude on those supplies.
Along with these dangers, Andrew and his team must also consider that a building this old will no doubt contain a range of hazardous materials.
It's not uncommon to come across asbestos and other materials that are deemed hazardous these days. We basically removed 1,800 square metres of asbestos. Dust suppression was employed around the perimeter of the building to make sure that no airborne asbestos particles were encountered during the soft removal.
They are now 2 months into the project and the excavators continue sorting through the huge volume of materials. The team spent weeks inside the structure, calculating these volumes.
There's 1,100 tonnes of steel on site, approximately 1,800 square metres of asbestos and 12,000 tonnes of concrete.
To reduce their carbon footprint, Synergy will reuse all the concrete from the structure to build a new road on site. The steel, copper and timber will also be recycled. It's 6 AM at Koolkhan and demolition day has finally arrived. Synergy have now been on site for 3 months, and with the 12 o'clock deadline hanging over their heads, the team is arriving early to ensure they stay on schedule.
Today we're going to do the final cuts on the buildings, on the corners. There's still some of the beams that have to be cut on the northern and southern side. The building's going to go to the western side. A lot of the cuts are hinge joints, so they've cut basically to a hinge, and they've made a V on the back so it falls away from us. We've had surveyors out here for the last 2 days to survey the building to see if there's any tolerances within the movement of the building, and at this stage it's within tolerance, which is 3 to 4 mils.
Using oxyacetylene blow torches, workers begin to sever the final few support beams, carefully positioning the last cuts in preparation for the controlled collapse. The structure must be thoroughly inspected to ensure the power station comes down exactly as planned. Once the final safety brief is given, the excavators take up their positions and everyone else moves outside the exclusion zone. Synergy and their subcontractors have stripped down this structure to a mere shell of its former self. 63 years on, it's now time to farewell this historical power station.
Look, it's exactly what we would have wanted when we started. It was a safe end, and it came down exactly how we planned. Another great result for Synergy and Southern Cross Demolition working together.
We're very happy with the success of today's induced collapse. It's an absolute credit to all the team on site preparing for this over the last couple of months, and we feel privileged to have been afforded this opportunity by Essential Energy to work on the Koolkhan project.